podcast where we chat about all things Christian fiction. I'm your host, author, and insatiable reader, Shatona Havoc. And guys, again, the trend continues. It just keeps coming. We have a new to me author. I read the synopsis of the book. I went straight over to, click on the audiobook part because I was like, yes, please, audio. Clicked on that, got myself the first book because I was like, oh my goodness, I'm about ready to finish one. I need this now. So usually I wait till after I'm done talking and then I'll make sure I do my ordering. This time I couldn't wait. So I hope I don't. Well, see, that's the great thing about audio. They won't let me do it again. Anyway, so welcome, Chris Underwood. He is the author of the Cold. Oh dear, I'm going to get it wrong. How about you tell us who you're the author of? Because I'm gonna mix it up.
It's a Cold Winter. It is a disaster fiction grid down series that is about the power grid going down.
Yes. So it's almost like pre-dystopian. It's like the edge of dystopian. Like if something goes wrong here, we're heading into dystopian. I mean, that's kind of cool.
But it is a very realistic scenario. It is something that has actually already happened. And in August of 2003, there was a power outage. It started in Ohio, started in Dayton, between some different power companies that weren't communicating well, and it just kind of festered up, and then boom, it just cascaded across and took out the whole Niagara Falls power grid for a day. New York City was down for a day. The whole top corner of the country was out, even some in Canada. So my thought was that, what if that were to happen in the wintertime with a snowstorm coming in? And that's where it goes from there.
Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, it things like this have happened. Even in winter for, X amount of time. Sometimes it's just a matter of hours. Sometimes it's a matter of days, but usually not more than a couple of days. So the idea of winter and them not being able to get it back up, that, ooh.
Yes. And then you just keep on going down the rabbit hole of what would happen next. People would realize that, there's power down south, so they would hop in their cars and not even look at their gas gauge and see if their tank's full or not, and just head that way and clog up the freeways. So then help has trouble getting to us because the freeways are all clogged up, and it just kind of goes from there.
Oh my goodness. So I'm assuming that this Niagara power outage thing like sparked this, or was it something else?
It kind of did. It festered in me for a little bit, and then I realized that, if I was going to be concerned about something, anybody that becomes a prepper, they have a scenario that they are preparing for, whether it be, nuclear
Right.
or an EMP. But I really thought that the most likely situation is just a power outage, just power going down of some sort. And then I just go from there as far as how I prepare for things. Although, I'm not a serious prepper. I don't have a bunker in the backyard or anything. But
Oh man, I was coming to your house. Oh.
Right.
Okay, maybe I'll just send my kids, but same smell. But oh man, it's funny because when we had, so we've had it happen a couple of times. Why we have power outages in summer here is I just don't understand why it always has to be summer, because winter is cold at night, especially. It's really cold. But most of us use gas in winter, so we'd be okay. We wouldn't freeze, most of us. But, summer here in the desert near Death Valley, can I just say it gets really, really hot, and we're all melting. In the matter of about a half an hour, our houses go from being, comfortable to miserable. It doesn't even take that long to get warm, but to get to the miserable, it's about a half an hour. And after that, we're dying. I mean, not necessarily literally, but if it lasts too long, even that, I mean, it's terrible. So when we had the 2019 earthquake, of course, power went out in lots of places. There were all kinds of, gas lines that are bursting. I mean, everything that could go wrong went wrong in that, right? And of course, it's on July 4th. Because desert.
Yeah.
Why do we always lose it at the worst time you could lose it?
Well, that's because
Murphy, that's why.
The energy is being used more at that time. That's how it's being taxed more. So
Oh, it's
that's how
crazy.
things like that
And
happen.
down south, they have the rolling blackouts where they deliberately cut the power to certain areas for a little
Yeah.
bit. And I'm just like, I'm really glad they don't do that up here because I think about the elder. I mean, we would be miserable, but there are elderly in particular. And now that mom's living with us, I think about her, but they can't regulate that quickly. And I'm just
No,
like,
no, it's difficult.
I'm really glad they don't do that here because that would be really bad.
But anyway, my story takes off from that kind of scenario of and my people are, they're trying to help people. They're not one of those that are just closing their doors to everyone. They want to they have a conscience and have a moral center about them. And also there's a minister who's part of the group that they use for guidance. He's actually a young Catholic priest, and
Oh, I love it.
so it's kind of cool that kind of brings it all in, and and I so it has a different kind of feel about it than most other dystopian future stories, where you have some alpha male who always saves the day and is always right, and my heroes have flaws, so it
I
has a
love it.
different kind of feel about it.
Oh, okay. So we have book one when this happens. And, it says that there's this family in a small town in central Ohio. They've prepped, but not enough. Da, da, da. I mean, you know, none of us can possibly prep for something long, indefinitely, especially if you're sharing, which they're doing. But then, so this first book ends, and then the next book opens, and it's still happening.
Right, right. Yeah, the first book is
So
about
how so how much of a cliffhanger do we get?
oh, no, there's still a pretty good cliffhanger about it all. There's some injuries, there's some battles at the end, and it kind of leaves you wondering at the end, those injuries, where it's going to go next. And then the second one is getting into where you see the first book is like the first month of the event, so you're kind of seeing how things are escalating and all that sort of thing. And then in the second, they start to realize there's more going on than just a power outage. There's a coup against the country happening. So they join a Minuteman militia, um, yeah, to fight back.
I love it.
Yes, yes. And some of them need to, they have to, just for different reasons. But so they join this militia, but modern machinery can't be trusted, so they use vintage stuff. They use vintage Huey helicopters and things like that are not able to be hacked and things like that.
That is so cool. And I mean, right on the cover of book 2, there is a helicopter. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah. And the thing about it, I'm writing about this. I want to be able to feel it. I want to. I went to Dayton Air Show and wanted to ride in the Huey helicopter and get that feel, get that adrenaline rush. And the thing was, the guys that were there giving the rides are all retired military, and have this, nonprofit foundation that they're giving these rides on the helicopters with. But they were just so welcoming to me, and inviting me to sit down and chat with them. I just didn't leave,
good.
and then they invited me back.
Good.
They invited me back the next day, and I've been volunteering with them for the past 3 years now. I've actually went to an air show with them last weekend, which was
That is
which
so
was really
cool.
cool. You're able to help out in any way you can. It's helping them set up their merchandise tents and all that sort of thing. And but also, I've gotten to know them so well that now I have, I believe, three pilots from there that review my chapters and edit them that use a helicopter. So
Oh, I love
it's
it.
accurate stuff.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so then we get into book 3, and there's this whole Ohio River battle thing going on, but it also mentions Evansville, Indiana, which I have family there. That's
Oh,
pretty cool.
oh,
And
do
so
you?
I mean, but that's quite a ways away from like the Columbus type area.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I had just so I'm a computer programmer by trade, and I had taken a consulting job there in Evansville, I don't know, back in like 2019, and I got to learn about the LST 325 there in Evansville, and then asked their permission to use it in my story, and they were all for it, and we worked together with them about it to use the ship in the story, which turned out
That is
fantastic.
so cool.
It really was neat to be able to bring that the history of that ship into a futuristic story. And I've
That
been
is
volunteering with them
so
for three
cool.
years too.
Like, you go make friends, and the
Yeah,
next thing you know, you're like the king of the volunteers. Emily Halifax would be so proud.
yeah.
But
It's been a really neat thing. It's a great way to learn about my subject matter, but also I've been
yeah.
able to give back to these foundations also. Last year, that ship in Evansville, the LST 325. What that ship is, it's a World War II landing ship that landed on the beach of Normandy during D-Day, and tanks rolled
Ah,
out
I
the front
just
of
love
it.
it.
So it's a really important piece of history that they're saving
Yeah.
there, and it completely runs by its own power. The engines from 1942 are still cranking away, and they take it to river festivals each year. So last year we went to St. Louis on the Mississippi River with that
Ooh,
ship, and I was living aboard for 30 days, sleeping in the bunks and all of that. Had shifts doing things in the wheelhouse, but I also sold books in the gift shop when we stopped, and I sold 1,400 books during that month.
wow.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
yeah. I was able to donate $8,000 to the ship through
Ah, I
through the
love it.
sales. It was pretty neat.
Well, I just okay, anything to do with D-Day. It was such a horrific and heroic at the same time moment. Anything to do with D-Day just gets me anyway. But then for you to be able to be on a ship that was actually there,
Yeah,
that just wow. I just can I just wow again. I mean, I
yeah.
feel like I'm fangirling over a ship over here. Something's really wrong with me.
It's a super cool ship too. It's really neat. It's fun to go through the
Oh,
river locks
so
with
what
it.
you're saying is I need to go see that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This year it's coming to Nashville. It's going to go down the Cumberland River and hit Nashville in September.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, and
Is it
a couple other
September or
cities.
October? I'm going to Tennessee. I think I go in October. I'm going in October. That ain't gonna work.
Well,
Dad, burn it.
we're going from like mid September to mid October, and
Ooh.
we're hitting three cities on the Cumberland River. One is Nashville, and oh, let's see here. I, I could actually be informative here and tell you what they are. The suburb of Nashville is what is it called? Hendersonville, and then we're going
Uh-huh.
to
Yeah.
Ashland.
I know where that is.
Yeah, Hendersonville, and then we're going to Ashland City and Clarksville,
Ooh.
and all of that can be found on the
See, that's
LST
doable.
325 website. I can show you the calendar and which weekend
Yes.
will be which place. But it's a
That would be so
super cool
cool.
tour. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. But if I go when I'm in Indiana visiting my daughter, I could take my grandsons.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to walk through there in Indiana. Yeah, you can take your time more and ask more questions. You have a
Oh,
personal
okay.
you have
Okay,
a
that's good
personal
to know.
you have a personal tour guide that'll take you through the whole thing. It takes about an hour to walk through the whole thing.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. All right, Shalice, we're taking the boys. All right, I'm just saying. Anyway. Oh, okay. But then we have book 4. I forgot to look. Didn't book 4 just come out not too long ago?
Yes, I released it on Veterans Day on the deck of the ship last year.
Ooh, how cool.
Yeah, which was really neat. And I still use the ship in the story. We're
Ooh, that's cool.
in using the ship. What we're doing is we're going up the river to rescue a VIP and bring him to safety. We have battles in the locks, and we even land the ship on an island for a battle and all that. We use the ship for everything it can do. But then in the fourth book, we're bringing the ship back, bringing back the VIP, and I introduce a Cobra attack helicopter, and we go up to Niagara Falls to liberate the power station up there. And
Ooh.
that's a pretty cool deal up there. And I use a destroyer in that battle that's currently up there in a naval park in Buffalo on Lake Erie. which I also asked them permission to use that ship. I use it just as it sits with no engine in it and no guns on it, but it has a rudder, and I use it as it sits as an important part of the story, important part of the battle. So it's pretty neat, and I will be on that ship on the 4th of July signing books this year. They have
Oh,
invited me
that is
there for the
cool.
4th of July celebration in Buffalo, so I'm going
Oh,
to be
I
there for
love
that.
it.
That should be pretty neat.
Okay, so now my question is there going to be another book?
There might be. I'm toying with it pretty hard now that when we go up to Niagara Falls, which is completely different than any other dystopian story where we were actually trying to get the power started again. We're trying to get turn off this disaster, and so a fifth book would be along the lines of what could go wrong in a recovery, and
Yeah.
so that could be a fun thing to dig into. So I'm still toying with it though.
Oh. Well, I'm always for more, but that's just Shatona and yeah,
Yeah,
she likes all the things. So what was the most exciting part of writing the series? I mean, my brain is going clearly the research and being on the ships and doing the things, but
yeah.
maybe not. Maybe,
Oh, it was really a lot of fun doing the research on the ship, and then for the Cobra attack helicopter, I had to ride in one of those too. So that was pretty exhilarating
so sad.
because the guys I volunteer with, they have their home base airport in Atlanta, and I went to them and to ride in this Cobra, and they were there. They just hung out with me all day. They rolled it out of the hangar just for me, and we had our flight, and then the pilots just hung out. We had lunch together in the hangar all day and told stories, and that was great. But yeah, the flight was awesome. They did some really cool things with me. They had made an agreement with a local farmer there that occasionally they would attack his barn once in a while. So I got to experience that.
That is so cool. It's like, "Hey, is it okay if I attack your barn
Yeah,
now and then?"
yeah, yeah. The livestock, I've gotten used to it. And so yeah, that was really neat, and it was something that I could write about in the story too. So that was really cool, and all these pilots are getting together and telling me their history. So I was able to mold a new character from all of that, which was really neat.
Ooh,
Yeah, I had a lot of
that
fun.
is neat.
Yeah, yeah, that has probably been the most difficult part of this series is that as it grows, as it becomes more of an epic kind of story from just this how it started out in just one household, then it has just mushroomed, and I've got so many characters to maintain and take care of, and that has been probably the hardest part of it because you got to introduce new pilots and things like that. So yeah, I didn't start off with those pilots, so it have to be new characters. But it's been a fun part of all of this has been the research and taking the time to set aside and put it all on paper. I really focused on it
I can
hard last
imagine.
year, and that was really neat. I went after it full time and left my daytime job and went after it. So that was really neat to be able to do that last year.
Oh, that is cool. Okay, so what was the hardest part then? I mean, when you sit down, you're gonna write this story. What was I mean, my brain is going, okay, I'm gonna cut out the power. Now what? It's kind of like suddenly no cell phone, It's
Yeah.
like
It,
it makes life easier for authors if there are no cell phones because it's way harder to get help when you don't have a cell phone. So back writing stuff before them is way easier, but without power, hurts the bad guys and the good guys.
there have been times that I had to actually kind of live it. I went to a cabin in last year in February and lived in this cabin for a month and hardly used any power at all. Just used the power of my laptop to be working and just kind of lived it for a while. And your mind really kind of getting into that zone, and it's a process. I guess I'm a method writer, as they call method
Yeah.
actors. I'm a method writer. I have to be in the zone.
Oh, that's so funny because I actually have a book idea of a guy who is a method writer in that way, and yet he writes whatever his readers want him to write, and so he's got to immerse himself into some crazy stuff because 'cause they're like, "Okay, I want you to write about this," and everybody votes on it, so then he's gonna write that book, but he, like, has to immerse himself into stuff that just, doesn't fit, and I think it would be so much fun, but now I know someone to go to and say, "Okay, what was hard about that?" You know? Score!
Yeah.
Ah, I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So, is this I did not look. I was so fascinated by the series, I didn't even look. Is this your only series, or do you have other series that we need to know about?
Oh, I also have a cozy mystery that I wrote.
What?
Yeah, yeah. In between all of this, I mean, the cold winter does kind of go into a dark area, and I needed to have a break, but it was also a situation where I was taking care of my father, who was passing away, a COPD. He had COPD for, oh man, like 8 years, and my wife and I were his primary caregivers, and so we knew that he was starting to get to a place, and so writing this little cozy mystery, this had some humor to it. It was more therapy for me than anything else, but it turned out really well. It turned out to be a really cool little story that I've put out there, and I converted into a screenplay and won some awards with the screenplay version. So
Oh,
I've been
fun.
happy with that. That was a little COVID project of writing that and converting that during COVID. But yeah, it's a neat little story. It's called The Creatures of Holden Beach and the Murder They Did Not Commit. And and it's about some guys who have created a lifelike looking alien with cameras inside, and they leave it on the beach for people to find it, trying to go viral on the internet with their reactions. But their plan is messed up by a murder on the beach the night before.
Uh-oh.
So we have a sheriff who's trying to solve both of these mysteries, one that's serious and one that's kind of humorous, and they both kind of it
Oh,
kind of comes together in the end. And it's a neat little
oh.
cozy mystery, and it's clean. I keep everything I do is that way, but doesn't have much faith in that story. But it's a cool little story, and also, like I said, I was writing that during my father as he was. It was funny how I finished it right before he passed, but I also included my mother-in-law, a character based on my mother-in-law in the story also, and she passed soon after that as well, and that was which I was not expected, but it was nice that I
Oh,
was able
man.
to put her into a story also. Didn't
Yeah.
realize the timing of
Oh,
it.
okay, guys, you gotta go see this cover.
It is a
Just
cool
hit
cover, isn't it?
pause to go see this cover. It is so
It
cool.
is the coolest cover. I had a guy who is a children's book illustrator did the cover for me, and when I had this horrible sketch of what I wanted to do, and once I showed him the sketch, he's like, "Oh, I have to do this. I have to draw this. I've been drawing bunny rabbits and mice for way too long. I got to do this fun project." So yeah, so he took it on. He did a great job.
Oh, it is absolutely hilarious. It feels kind of like those kind of almost lurid mystery, the almost pot boilers from the mid 50s,
Yeah, yeah,
but with a little extra oomph into it. I mean, it is so cool.
yeah. I've sold
And it's
posters.
audio. There's audio.
Yes, yes. And I had a girl read the book. Had a female reader on this. I think she did a good job with it because the main character is a woman. So I wanted it to be read by a female. So I think it worked out really well.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely going in there next. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. Fortunately, Amazon won't let me buy it twice, so I can hit buy now and then I won't end up with 4 copies. Confirm my churches. Not that that's ever happened or anything. Oh my goodness. So, all right, let's assume that we don't know if there's going to be a book 5 in the cold winter. What would be next then if we don't have that?
I've actually toyed around a little bit with having a second cozy mystery. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. Taking a break a little bit and doing something with that. I'm actually thinking about doing just a little short novelette or something along that line of what I have in mind for the. It would be an extension using the same characters as this cozy mystery, and
Ooh,
so I have a little novelette. Try to do a little bit of both is what I'm trying to say. That I would do a little bit
yeah.
on that, and then also work on this fifth book because it needs to be done. It needs to be. I
Good.
need to put a bow on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm excited about the fact that we're going to get a fifth because A, I want more books, but B, I also love odd numbers when it comes to books. I like them in a 3,
Oh,
5, 7,
that
and
makes sense.
so
Yeah.
there's just something about except for 10, for some reason 10 works.
Mm.
But I just 4 books. I have a 4-book series. I hate the fact that I have a 4-book series. I want to write a 5th book for a series that's been done for 10 years because I can't stand the fact that there's only 4.
Mm. Yes. Yes.
It's just a personal thing. I know I'm weird, but yeah. Oh goodness. Okay, so yes, we do want more cozy mystery. It's waiting for me to listen to after I listen to. Oh, except that I've got 3 books to listen to before. Yeah, oh well, we'll worry about that later. Maybe I'll do that first, and then I don't want to wait for cold though. Deep breath. Oh, I'll get my grandson to listen to cold first while I'm listening to the cozy, and then I won't feel guilty. Oh, this is good.
There we go.
This is
There
good.
we go.
We got this. Oh goodness. Okay, so where should readers go to find out more about you, about your books, and when book 5 and the next mystery is coming? Where do they go for all that?
I mean, you can just check things out on Amazon, of course. I mean, the series is put together onto a series page on Amazon. But also, my website is authorchrisaunderwood.com. I have a neat little trailer on my site of the book series that is really well done. I made the trailer standing on the deck of the ship, so it has some cool stuff about it there, and that's really a good way to learn about the series itself. But you can also check out on my website the tour. I am bouncing all over the place right now. My book tour. I'm hitting a lot of prepper festivals, survivalist and homesteading, that sort of thing. I'm going to one this weekend in Elkton, Florida. They have classes about how to live off the grid and all that sort of thing. And that one's really good. Like so, right now I'm sitting in St. Augustine, looking at the ocean.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
And that's the one place in Florida I want to
Oh,
go.
it's beautiful.
Ah.
It is beautiful. I'm trying to
Ah.
have some fun in between the shows. Like I said, last weekend I was at an air show with my fly guys, and I've got this one going this weekend, and then another one in North Carolina called Mountain Readiness. I'll be there for that, and then I'm going to be living aboard the ship, the LST 325. The first week of May, we have a work week going on there. I'll be scraping and painting, and I think doing some plumbing too. I made the mistake of telling them I know about plumbing, so that means I'll be put to work. but but yeah, so I'm always doing things either volunteering or doing these tours. I have a lot of the survivalist camps, and I'm also doing some Comic Cons, and so it's yeah,
Oh,
some
fun.
good stuff. And it really like you said, that creatures my creatures book is a real hit at the Comic Cons. I must admit.
I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah, yeah. So I'm having fun with it. But also to get back to the subject of that your listeners really listen to for the story of mine is that I do use a lot of faith in my story, but it's more for guidance, and I try not to be heavy-handed about it all, and I throw in some really unique things like back the first orbit of the first orbit of the planet. The astronauts were flying. They were orbiting the planet on Christmas night, and they read from the book of Genesis. And so that sort of thing I
Yeah.
bring out in the story that somebody put out on the radio, in my story. But things like that, I try to bring out and bring people back and ground the story in faith.
I love it. I love it so much. And I got so excited about the story, I forgot to ask about faith. So thank you for bringing it up because the readers want to know. But I'm just going, story.
Well,
Yeah, Shatona's having a moment.
I also dig into. I did a conversion from Southern Baptist to the Catholic faith, and which is a wild one.
That's interesting.
Uh, going
Yeah.
going to church.
But that's happening a lot right now.
Yeah, it's becoming the I don't know. the go-to faith, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know, bring it.
It's very but young men are converting to Catholicism. Basically in droves, if you will, by comparison to before. It's a thing right now, and so how very relevant of you.
And the men's groups have become very popular, very big. They run
Yeah.
the That Man Is You program, and then lots of others. And that's what got me into it. I was in a men's faith group and very active in it. And yeah, then eventually I converted. And so the stories of the conversion are given in the book, and I think it's a much neater way to learn about them rather than just a nonfiction story or nonfiction history of my life or something. You know what I mean? I'm able to
Right.
put it out there in a
Yeah.
story and explain, the conversations that were had with the priest. Like when the priest came to me towards the end of the conversion and said, now you got to have your first confession and confess the sins of your 44 years. And and my reaction is, you're going to have to pack a lunch. And
Right.
and so without skipping a beat, he said, "Come over to my house for dinner then." And like, oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So which actually did happen, and that was a strange thing to go through.
I
Yes,
can
yes,
imagine. That would be very
yeah,
different.
yes, absolutely so.
Oh boy. But I love the fact that you put that in there because people are curious and they want to know why and they want to know how
Mhm.
that works, and you've shown them without basically preaching at them. You've just
Right.
shown them. I love that.
Yes, I've had a lot of people come to me afterwards, and also even seen some of the reviews on Amazon where people have said that it was refreshing, that the faith was being used, and it was not heavy-handed, and all of that. That they felt it was a good change for a story in that genre. Because yeah,
Yeah.
a
Oh,
lot of that
I
genre,
love it. Well, and I love the fact that there's both faith with
right,
dystopian. I mean, it's not dystopian, but it's
right,
heading there. It's heading.
exactly. Yes, yes, it is, and it definitely goes that direction. It covers all the bases there.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Well, Chris, this has been fun. I so appreciate you. Okay, so I bought two books before we're done talking, and I went over to your website and I went to order. I was like, I need to order the paperbacks because it says I can order them right here, but that's not working. So we'll have to
Uh,
figure that out.
no,
But
it just takes you to Amazon. I mean, if somebody wants to actually order a paperback from me and have it signed, if they're wanting to do
hmm
that please do. Please just email me. We'll work it out, and I get it to you at about the same cost that Amazon would. But I get you a signed copy, and it means more to me, dollar wise.
yeah, yeah. Well, and they're so much
It
more fun
is.
anyway. But
It
so yeah,
is. It is. It
guys.
is more fun, and that's one of the great things about doing a signing is that the people really enjoy getting a signed copy, and that's really neat.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, we'll have to talk about how I get my set. But meanwhile, guys, I'm going to say thanks to Chris for coming and chatting with us. This has been a blast. And I knew it would be the minute I started reading this. And then once he started talking and talking about actually being on this ship, I'm like, wait a minute. So, yeah, this has been great.
Very cool. Very cool. Yes, it has.
All right. So, guys, have a good day. Go read these good books. They're available. They're waiting. They're calling your name. Do I recall correctly that they're available on Kindle
They are.
Unlimited
Yes,
too?
they're on Kindle Unlimited right now.
So, just
Yeah,
saying.
I'm working with
Just
my
saying.
marketing person. We're trying to figure out what's the next thing to do with that. So they may not be on Kindle Unlimited all the time in the future. So grab
Awesome.
them now.
Yeah. So grab them, at least shelve them now, guys. If you shelve them now, even if they go out of Kindle Unlimited, you can still read them. And then when you return them, you won't be able to get it back on Kindle Unlimited, but that's okay. He still gets
Right.
paid. So it's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good.
Yeah,
And
that's the thing. When it goes into your wallet there at Kindle Unlimited, I don't get paid then. I get paid when you read it. Yeah.
So flip every page, guys. Even those last little ones, just
Yep.
keep going because everyone is a fraction of a penny, so they
Yeah.
add up.
Right, right. Yep, that's exactly it.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you so much. And guys, Go read these good books. I'll chat with you all